Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the INT Chi-Chi Youth. So this is the latest Chi-Chi Youth, and we're going to see just how good she is in DBZ Dokkan Battle at 55%. So Chi-Chi is the latest banner unit. She came out with AGL Goku. She is very good. I'm going to specify that and say that she's a very good, very successful release for a banner unit. I think, look, if you got dupes, it's great, but she does exactly what she needs to do. She's a strong support unit that's very tanky in the initial phases of fights, or at least relatively tanky. And this gives Goku a great platform until he's strong enough to tank, and then she can take over that reliable second slot. Now what she does really well, she's got attack and defense of 200%, 2 key. She launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super. She gives super class allies 30% attack and defense, and an additional 30% for those who belong to DB Saga. When attacking with 12 or more keys, she has attack of 100%, medium chance of attack 150%. For every super attack performed, she has attack and defense and chance of performing a crit of 25% up to 100, so she has guaranteed crits built in. When the target enemy is in the following status: attack down, defense down, stunning, or sealing, she will launch an additional super. And when there's another youth category ally on the team, she will have defense at 200% and a high chance of evasion. And when there's an ally whose name includes Goku attacking in the same turn, she'll guard all attacks and have a defense of 159% when receiving an attack. This means that Chi-Chi's defense when receiving an attack can be guard plus around about 1,000,000 defense, which is pretty crazy when you think about it once fully built up. So guard and 1,000,000 defense upon receiving an attack. On top of that, she also has a 50% chance of evading the enemy's attack if there's a youth category ally, which Goku, at least the Goku youth, should fulfill. But you don't have to have a Goku youth, you can have a Goku. So I think overall she's pretty good. Obviously in terms of build, you probably want to build her majority evasion with additional, I'd go a 50-50 split between the two. Additional super attacks help her in a lot of ways. She raises her attack and defense 1 turn, so you can get up to 3 super attacks in a turn. 1 off of her baseline passive, 1 off of the fact that the enemy could be in attack down, defense down, and 1 from a hidden potential system, which means you could super 4 times in a turn. That would make her incredibly tanky alongside a Goku. But on top of that, she also lowers attack and defense, which is super helpful skill to have. That plus the guaranteed crits after fully building up means that additionals do help her do significant damage. Then, of course, she also has the evasion side of things, giving her a decent chunk of evasion, like 10 or 15, coupled with her 50% evasion rate, means that she'll be pushing her up to that kind of 60% effective bracket. Doesn't mean that she's absolutely broken in terms of evasion, but it does mean that she's in a pretty decent space with evasion. So I think overall, I would have to say that Chi-Chi is probably one of my favorite supports right now. Look, she is very limited in terms of team, of that I have no doubt. So she needs a Goku. She definitely wants to be on a youth team, so a Goku youth kind of fulfills all of her needs, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. But generally speaking, like for me, that's okay. Like her needing to have a Goku youth is not really the biggest hindrance, considering there's 2 very viable Goku youths right now, being the physical one and the AGL one, and she links up great with both of them, sharing 5 crucial links with either one. So Chi-Chi is definitely, if you want to run those Goku youths on any team and Chi-Chi can fit on those teams, she should be the first point of call to do so. Her biggest issue is that she's just not on a lot of teams. Bond Parent and Child, DB Saga, Earthgrid Fighters, Earthlings, and Youth are her categories. The big issue is that she doesn't have Goku's family, obviously, and she does not, weirdly enough, have Dragon Ball Seekers, which clearly, obviously, she doesn't search for the Dragon Balls, like she's not like Bulma or Goku, but I do find it to be probably the one thing that I would say is a little bit of a shame. So, when you're talking like functionally, how does she work best? She definitely works best on DB Saga, youth, Earthbred fighters. Like, she'll work well on all those teams. The shame is just that basically she doesn't have like that ability to work on a DBZ team, and she also unfortunately has a little bit of limitations in terms of how her passive works. But overall, I'd have to say she's a really solid unit. I think she's really good, and yeah, for me, I'm pretty happy with her overall performance. I would have to say, for me, functionally, she looks really solid, and I would definitely say that she's probably up there with one of my favorite units right now, especially just running her alongside Goku.